Hello and welcome back to another RouterGods video. My name's Humphrey. We're going to continue on our jobs and careers series, doing another resume makeover, and we're going to be concentrating on the jobs section, his jobs description section on this particular resume. Now, this person has been working at a hospital for a couple years as a systems admin, and they're applying for a network engineering position somewhere in California. And of course, we have anonymized everything to make sure it's private. So resume makeovers is something we do a lot within RouterGods. And of course, if you want to join, we do these for free. There's no charge. There's nothing really to sign up for other than RouterGods. And you can reach us at RouterGods.com. We're the world's largest networking meetup group. And we got about 5,000, coming up close on 5,000 members. Okay, so we got this resume and we've got the experience section. This is very typical. We've got 4 bullet points under projects, which is good. And then we have a beginning paragraph. So let's take a look here. Business is a critical access hospital where I maintain the IT infrastructure and provide 24/7 support to a mission critical emergency department. Okay, so first off, coincidentally, I used to work as an EMT, so I know what a critical access hospital is. A critical access hospital is more of a rural, smaller hospital. And down here, I think, also on his last sentence in that paragraph, 90 plus medical end users. So these would be, I'm guessing, the office workers, the billing department, maybe the nurses, head nurses, that type of stuff. So when you're talking about 90 people in a hospital in terms of end users, staff, that's not really that big of a hospital. It's somewhere between a clinic and a full-fledged hospital. But that's okay. Now, what I would be careful about is if you are applying to another hospital, yes, you could keep the critical access name in there, the description in there, because hospitals know what other critical access hospitals are. But if you're sending this resume to a normal network engineering company, you're applying for ISP, you're applying for a city, something like that, they probably don't know what critical access hospital is. So I would just leave that out. I would just say 24/7 emergency department hospital, something like that. So I could shorten this whole sentence down quite a bit. Now, I maintain the IT infrastructure. Yes, you're a systems admin. That's understood that you maintain the IT infrastructure. 24/7 support. Okay, well, I would probably remove that because it's a hospital. It's assumed that it's 24/7 support. So what I would put here is I could shorten these 2 sentences. The first sentence and the last sentence, the 90 medical users, and I could shorten it down to, let's see, business is a 24/7 emergency hospital with 90 plus end users, and you would be detailed about the number of beds. So let's just make something up. Let's just say something like 300 beds, ICU beds, whatever you want to call the beds, right? So there's different classes of hospital beds. You could put that if you want. So business is a 24/7 emergency hospital with 90 plus end users and 300 beds. So we could shorten this up down here. And then we have a sentence, daily work. So we kind of have this really long sentence here. Daily work includes supporting electronic medical records, so EMR, so that's good. That's what you would expect in a hospital. Windows domain, Active Directory, these two kind of go hand in hand. Group policy, that goes hand in hand with the other one. Linux and Windows Hyper-V servers, Sonic Wall firewalls. Okay, so we can group this up and we can shorten this. Daily work, that's understood. You're putting this in your job description. You're supporting, so you don't need complete sentences here. Just do that. You support. Okay. You could probably even take out support, just say electronic medical records. Now, when you say support, how do you support them? right? Yeah, did someone set it up for you and then you're doing troubleshooting, you're doing technical support? Do you have to go on site? Do you have to do changes? Be specific about what the support is. Be specific here. Electronic medical records. Now, these three things, Windows domain, Active Directory, group policy, they're together. They're all within Windows. So what you would do here is say Windows domain AD. That's understood. They kind of go together. And group policy. Kind of put those three things together. Shorten that up. Linux and Windows Hyper-V servers. Okay, that's good. Now, with the Windows, were you installing the servers? Were you just troubleshooting? What exactly were you doing? Because you just can't say support. Support is a very vague term. And then we got some sonic wall firewalls. Okay, cool. Some switching and Aruba wireless. All right. So this is kind of the infrastructure. So what I would put here is a networking infrastructure of, I don't know why my Siri just came off, networking infrastructure of sonic wall firewalls, Cisco HP switching, Aruba wireless, Unitrends backup appliance, and we could leave it like that. Now with the voice over IP, I would be specific about what exactly you were doing with the voice over IP, because here you have the Mitel phone system. So, is this voice over IP entry something different than the Mitel? I would be more specific about that. Okay, and then we have a sentence here. We could make another paragraph. As well as, okay, whenever you say as well as, kill it. You don't need it. Okay, maintain, configure, and monitoring LAN and remote VPN sections. Okay, so this right here, you don't need it because the LAN was understood. You talked about the networking infrastructure here with the switching and stuff. That covers the LAN, so kill that. Remote VPN, remote site VPN connection. So I think you have this under here, deployed remote site networks. Okay, so we could kill that. Okay. And then we get into the sysadmin desktop support, which is completely fine to leave in. Supported Windows 10 and Office 365 for how many users? So if it's 90 end users, you don't need to restate it again. You could say also supported Windows 10 and Office 365. And that's completely fine. Now, I would try to be more specific. Were you imaging servers? Were you imaging laptops? Were you doing break fix? How many devices, how many trouble tickets were you doing each day? That type of thing. So be specific when you say supported. Try not to use the word supported, right? Okay, then we get into the projects. Replaced a switch stack, organized VLANs and cables with zero downtime. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Be specific about how many switches were in the stack. Were they in different closets? And how long did this project take? Organize the cables. Do you have screenshots? Do you have pictures to show the before and after? And then you could put a miscellaneous section on the bottom of your resume with the link. Click on it, and it could link to SmugMug or ImageFlip or Flickr or whatever. Could even be Google Docs where you have those pictures. Okay, so we have a second bullet point: deployed physical and virtual servers to migrate the production environment away from. Okay, so this is way too wordy here. So I would say server migration from OS ABC to OS ABC version 2, whatever that is. And then be specific. How many servers? How many servers and what type? Okay, server migration from here to here. How many servers and what type? How long did this server migration take? How many people were involved? Be specific about this, because this sounds like a pretty good project. Okay, then we have configure network monitoring using Zabbix and SMTP. Okay, configuring network monitoring with Zabbix. Do a slash there, SNMP, tighten that down a bit, to create visibility for critical failover equipment. No, that's kind of the whole point. You do network monitoring is to monitor critical equipment. Delete that. Don't need it. And then we have deployed remote site network. How many sites? How many people? Specific. How many? What type? AnyConnect. Was it Palo Alto? Be specific. How many? What type? And deployed. How? How did you deploy them? Did you reinstall everything? Were you touching all the devices? Just don't say deployed. It's kind of the same vague word as support. So get rid of that. And establish point-to-point VPN connection. Like one? Or how many? How many? Configure 35 point-to-point VPN connections. Or was it for a critical, emergency van or all the ambulances or something like that? So you have to realize that in today's day and age of COVID-19, remote work is very important. Those skills of setting up VPN connections and IPsec tunnels and stuff like that, very, very important. So you have to prioritize these 4 projects. If you start off with replace the switch stack and organize cables, that to me and to a lot of people is not that. Like, you've just hit me with the weakest thing in here. Actually, maybe not that weak. Maybe this one's pretty weak. So I would reorder this. I would put the VPN first. I would also put the server migration second. And then I would put, then I would leave the switch one in there and network monitoring last. All right, so we tightened up a lot of the paragraph up here. We got rid of a lot of the redundant information. We've also been more specific. You have to be more specific on the project bullet points. How did you do things? How many? What exactly did you do when you say deployed? What exactly did you do when you say you supported? All right, so we do a lot of these. Once again, if you want your resume to be redone kind of like this, join RouterGods, routergods.com. We do these every couple days, and we have a lot of fun with it. I have a lot of fun. It gets me thinking a lot of times. Sometimes it's aggravating, but we help people out. And once again, it's all free. Okay, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Like and subscribe if this has been useful to you. And as always, I hope you're doing safe and well, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.